Welcome to Parent Squad. I'm Felicia Lawrence, and our hot topic today is how are your daughters doing? The new Indiana Girl Report by the Indiana Youth Institute breaks down the realities our girls are facing today. So how's it going? Here to talk more about it is IYI President and CEO Tami Silverman. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
An important topic. You all do this girls report every year. It's actually been out for the third year now. Can you tell us why you started this report, and then what does this report look at?
Certainly. We started it because we know there are differences between boys and girls, and we know that in some ways girls are thriving and in other ways they're struggling. So we partnered with the Girl Scouts, all the Girl Scout coalitions across the state, and started this report to really examine how are our girls doing. So we've been looking at things such as their mental health, their academic success, how their economics are and what their futures are looking like. And again, we've been doing it for 3 years, so we're starting to see some patterns emerge.
Okay, because ultimately the idea is to take this data and be able to influence parents, teachers, and people who make policy.
100%. We always say the data is only as good as what we do with it, right? So we're collecting it for action so that we can really understand not only the girls that are closest to us. Oftentimes, you can fall into the reality of, particularly in the case of the Girl Scouts, you know those girls in your troop. Maybe you know the girls in your home and your daughter's friends or whoever those are, but how are those girls similar to or different from other girls in your community? It's really important that we look a little broader.
Certainly. Okay, so it sounds like this year's report shows both the success and some of the challenges that our girls are facing. What did you find out specifically about their mental health?
Their mental health is kind of a mixed bag. Reality is that we know that there's some connections to social media, and I know we're going to get there in a little bit, but girls spend more time on social media than do their male counterpoints. And because of that, they say they have higher levels of anxiety and depression. They are also lacking some of those social connections, and they're kind of looking towards their screens for those social connections. Social connections in real life are super important to young people and to girls as they learn to develop and grow and have some of those interpersonal relationships that really do help them thrive.
And why would you say those are so important? I imagine because it's an opportunity to learn, but also just to be connected emotionally, socially with someone else.
To be connected, to have people that have a shared experience with you. Again, your peers, particularly as kids start to age, they start to rely on their peers for information and support and for that shared experience. What's it like going into a new classroom? What's it like maybe trying a new adventure or a new activity at school? You can talk to your parents, and we hope that kids do that, but talking and bouncing that off with your friends and talking about what went well or what they're frustrated with is a whole different type of communication that kids really need to learn.
Certainly. Okay, so this next topic, it can be a little complicated for many parents. We're talking about screen time. So we got to know what this report says about girls and screen time usage in the state of Indiana.
Right. On average, girls, are you ready for this, are spending 5.3 hours on social media a day.
Wow.
That's about an hour more than their male counterpoints. And we know that once it goes over the 3-hour mark on average, that's when you see some of those higher levels of anxiety and depression. Okay. So again, we're not talking about do away with social media, and we know that there are also benefits. Young girls also tell us they feel connected. They find it a way that they can express their creativity. Both are positives. It just needs to be regulated in a dose that can still be healthy.
I love that, just because there's so much talk about screen time, and I feel like it's either do it or don't do it, and you're saying, no, the healthy amount. And I think that's really interesting. You said that, first of all, there's only 24 hours in a day, people, more than 5 hours, but an hour more than the boys. Would we know, I know the report focuses on girls, but would we know why would that be more?
We don't know exactly. What I will say is the number of girls who are active in activities such as sports is slightly lower. Okay. So if perhaps young boys are more engaged and are more active in out-of-school time activities such as sports, they don't have the time to be on the screens quite as much as young girls.
Oh, certainly. Okay, so what is your best advice to parents on what you found in this report this year? What would you, if parents can walk away with one or two things, what would you want them to walk away with?
Build those connections. Make sure that your daughters or your nieces or your neighbors or any of those young women that you care about have a network of support. Girls are telling us they are finding it harder these days to make and keep friends than they used to. So find ways you can help facilitate that, whether it's having them over at your house or going to a park or suggesting it or setting up those play dates when they're younger and making sure that's part of their normal development. Because again, those social connections, real life ones, right, are really important.
Real life ones. We like the internet too, but real life ones. Oh, I love it. Just a reminder for parents to be so intentional, to be involved, engaged, and to be having your kids in activities and things of that sort.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, so there is so much to learn from this. We want you to look at the full report so you can get an idea of what's going on with your girls in your life and maybe talk to them about it. We put it online for you at WTHR.com/Parent Squad, and there you can also get more info about Indiana Youth Institute. Still ahead, it is New Year's Eve at home. The City Moms joins me to share some great ways to ring in 2026 from the comfort of your living room.